Hey guys, welcome to another video. Today we are going to do paper 1-1 of November 2015, Math O-Level. So let's go on to question number 1. So part A, work out this operation. So here we have to follow the rule of BOD mass. So we first have to do division and multiplication. So 6 divided by 3 will be 2. 1 times 5 is 5. And then we have 12 plus 2 plus 5. That will give me 12 plus 7, which is 19. So part 1, 19. Part B, work out the subtraction of those two fractions. So we realized that the base are different. So we have to do LCM. So 9 times 5 for the base. And then we cross multiply. We have 7 times 5. Minus comes here. And then 9 times 3. So let's simplify. 7 times 5 will be 35 minus 27 divided by 45. Now, what is 35 minus 27? That will be 8 divided by 45, and that will be your answer for part B. 8 divided by 45. Moving on to question number 2. So we have A, B, C, D is a quadrilateral with AB parallel to AD. It seems to be a trapezium from what I can see. So now we have AD is perpendicular to BC. So AD is its right angle to BC. If this is 5, this means that this length here will be 7 just by doing some deduction here. So let's draw a straight line so we can observe this carefully. Okay. So what is this shape? This is 5, this will be 5, because here on this side, and BC is equal to 5, AD is equal to 12. Now we say the area of triangle BCD. So BCD is 20. Okay, find the side CD. So how do you find area of a triangle? We do half times base, which is 5. Let's call this height h, times h, which is 20. So find the value of h. So how do we do that? So we have to simplify. We have 5h over 2 equal to 20. So we cross multiply. We have 5h equal to 40. So h will be 40 divided by 5, which will be 8. So the height here will be 8. Okay, answer here, CD is 8 centimeters. So now part B, find the area of triangle ABD. So ABD. So we know the height is 8. Area of a triangle will be half times base, which is 12, times height, which is 8. Simplify, we have, this will be 6. 6 times 8 will be 48. So area of triangle ABD will be 48 centimeters square. And that is your answer for part B of question number 2. So now we move on to question number 3. A number is written as a product of its prime factors. Evaluate this number. So let's find out what number is this. So 2 times 2 is 4. 5 times 5 is 25 times 7. So 4 times 25 is 100 times 7 will be 700. So your answer is 700 for part A. Moving on to part B. The lowest common multiple, so LCM, of this number, which is 700, and another number n, which is this. This is what? Oh, we don't know n. We don't know what is the value of n. So the LCM is this. So LCM equal to 2 power 2 times 3 times 5 power 2 times 7 power 2. Okay, so the number 700 is equal to 2 power 2 times 5 power 2 times 7. So what is the number n? So we do realize that the 2 power 2 came from 700, so that is okay. We can cut it off. The 5 power 2 come from 700, so that is okay. Cut it off. So the 3 came from n, so 3 will be here. And the 7 power 2 came from n as well. So which means the smallest value of n will be 3 times 49. So 3 times 49, that will be 3 times 9 is 27. And 3 times 4 is 12, plus 2 will be 47. So 147 will be the smallest value of n. That is part B. Moving on to part C, the exchange rate between pounds and dollars is this much. So 1 pound is 60 or $1.6. Amit changes 200 pounds to dollars. Calculate the number of dollars he received. So how do we do this? We know that 1 pound is $1.6. So 200 pounds will be 1.6 times 200. So we move 2 decimal place. We cut 2 0 here. We have 160 times 2, that will be 320. So the answer part 1 will be 320. Now for part B, Aisha changes $240 to pounds. How many pounds does she receive? So we know that $160 is equal to 1 pound. So find the number of pounds from $240. So that will become 1 divided by 160 times 240. So if we bring this here, we have to add 2 zeros. So here we have 240 divided by 160. So this is pretty easy. Divide that. Divided by 4, we have 4. We have 600. Divided by 4, we have 1. We have 1,550. So your answer will be 150 pounds. That is question number 4. So now moving on to question number 5. The diagram shows a square PQRS. So PQRS is a square, and a right angle triangle PST. Okay, so what can we derive? So we know that the area of the square is 50 centimeters square. So area, so you have square, my bad. Area of square is 50 centimeters square. So square, the side of squares are all the same. So let's call the side x. That will be x. That will be x, and that will be x as well. That's the side of the square. We know that x times x, which is x squared, equal to 50 centimeters square, which is the area of the square. So the side is square root of 50. So that will be square root of 50, square root of 50. So the side of the squares are the same. Makes sense, right? So calculate the side of PT. PT is this side. So as we know, when we have a right angle triangle, we have to use the rule of Pythagoras theorem. So this tells us that this side, which is square root of 50 square, is equal to the sum of these two sides square. So let's call this y. Sum of y square plus this side square. So now we have to solve for y. So 50 square root of 50 square, that will be 50, equal to y square plus 34. So y square is equal to 50 minus 34. So y square is 16. Y will be square root of 16. That will give me 4. So your answer PT will be 4 centimeter. Okay, moving on to question part 6. Write this number correct to 3 significant figures. So how do we do this? We will leave the 3 numbers because we have 3 significant figures. We ask ourselves if this number here is bigger or equal to 5. If the answer is yes, we add 1 to the first 3 numbers. So 306 add 1, that will be 307, and the rest becomes 0, just like that. So now we have to solve this. So given 538 times 210 is equal to 11298, that's given to us. So we have to use this to find this answer. So we have to find the answer of, so from here we know that 112,980, from this we divide by 210, it will give me 538. From this we derive this. So what is the value of 112.98 divided by 210? So you can see that it moved by 3 decimal place, right? So here we have 1, 2, 3, the point is here. So we have to move by 3 decimal place as well. So your answer will be 0.538. 0.538. That is your answer for part B. So now moving on to question number 7. What do we have? We have Paul takes examination in math and physics. The chances he passes math, so P as passes math is 0.7. Of passing physics will be 0.6. So what is the chances of him failing math will be 0.3. Chances of him failing physics will be 0.4. Okay. So so the results of each subject are independent of each other. That's a good information to have. Calculate the probability that he passes math and does not pass physics. So he needs to pass math and not passing physics. So pretty easy. That will be 0.7 times not physics, 0.4. So what do we have? So we first do 7 times 4 will be 28, and we have 1 decimal place here, we have 1 decimal place here, so in total we have 2 decimal places. So your answer will be 0.28 for number 7. So now moving on to question part 8. So we have cos y degrees is equal to minus 0.54, where y is between 90 and 180. One solution of the equation will be this equation will be cos x is 0.54, where x is equal to 57. Correct to the nearest whole number. Find y correct to the nearest whole number. So how do we do this? So on part A, so we have to draw a quadrant, the axis. So we are given that this is 90, this is 180, 0. So we're given that of 57. So 57 will be about this point. 57. That's the positive value over here. So on here, that will be 57 as well. That will be a negative value. So if you want to find this y for it to be the same, so we have to find this angle. So what is the size of this angle? It will be 180 minus 57. So 180 minus 57, that will give me, so we have 7, 10, 3, 2, 1. So your answer will be 123 degrees. Sorry, no degrees. So that's value of y. Correct to the nearest whole number, which is y. Okay, and that is question number 8, part B, part A. So now moving on to part B. 5a minus 2 over 3 equal to 11. Solve for a. So we have to cross multiply. We have 5a minus 2 equal to 33. So 5a is equal to 35. So a will be 35 divided by 5, which is 7. A will be 7. So now we move on to question number 9. What do we have? So 9, it's a table. We have p, q, and the values, and given the information that p is directly proportional to q. So p is directly proportional to q, which means p equal to kq. So we have to first use these two values to find the value of k. So we know that when p equal to 27, value of q was 9. So what is the value of k? K will be p, which is 27 divided by 9, which was 3. So the new equation will become p equal to 3q. So now we have to find the value of r when p equal to 33. So p is 33, r is here, so r will be 11. That's the value of r. So moving on to part B. Complete the sentence below describing the relationship between x and y. As you can see, it tells me that y is inversely proportional to what? So by observation, what can we have here? So we have to observe y will be inversely proportional to what factor? So when the value of x is is 2. The value of y is 25. So let's call this, we don't know where it is, let's name it p. We don't know where it is, right? Because we're trying to find the value here for it to make sense. So it will be y equal to k 1 over p. So the value of k is what? So here we have for part B, we can just continue doing that. So we observe that we can just not look at this. That's okay. So we observe the value of x is increased by 5 times 5. What happened to the value of y? It is decreased by 25. So divide by 25. So which means that the value of x varies inversely to x squared. If you increase the value of x by 5, the value of y is decreased by 25. So your answer here will be inversely proportional to x squared. That is your answer for part B. Moving on to part C, we have m is directly proportional to L cubed. How many times larger is m when L is multiplied by 2? So if L becomes 2L, replace that back in, it will become 2L cubed, which will become 8L cubed. So how many times? It will be 8 times larger. So that is your answer for part C. So now moving on to question number 10. What do we have here? So here's a list of numbers from -8 till 9. Write down two numbers from the list that have a difference of 10. So two numbers that have a difference of 10. So difference will be 2 minus 8 will be 10. So 2 and minus 8, if that makes sense. Find the sum of the numbers in the list. So let's find the sum. So -8 plus -5, that will be -13, -13 minus 3, -16, -16 minus 2, -18, plus 0. So -18 plus 2, -16 plus 4 will become -12, and finally plus 9, that will give me, so -12 plus 9, let's do that. That will be 3. Now -3. So your answer is -3 for the sum of numbers in the list. Part C, it is given that -4 is less equal to 2, less equal to 7. Write down all the numbers from the list that satisfy the equation. So let's first find the value of x. So we have to divide by 2 everywhere. So -4 divided by 2 is -2. X, that will be 3.5. So the value of x is between -2. So we have -1, 0, 1, 2, 3, 3.5. So the value of x will be between those values. So what numbers in the list are in this list? So we have -2 to 3.5. So we have this one. So that's one number. That's 2. That's 3. So the three values in the list will be -2, 0, and 2. That will be the answers for part C. Moving on to part 11. An empty box has a mass of 0.8 gram. Correct to the nearest 0.1 kilogram. So write down the lower bound of the mass of the empty box. So it's very easy. The first thing you do is to write the measurement here, 0.8. We do plus or minus what value? We take the nearest, which is 0.1, divided by 2. So what do we get? We get upper bound will be plus, that will be this, lower bound will be 0.75. So write down the lower bound, it will be 0.75. Part B, the box is filled with books. We have books in the box. The total mass of the box and the books is 6 kilogram, correct to the nearest kilogram, so 1 kilogram, right? Work out the lower bound for the masses of the books. Okay. So how can we find the lower bound of the masses of the book? So if it is a difference, so we need to find the lower bound for the difference. So it needs to be the minimum minus the maximum to find the lower bound of the difference. But first, we have to write the upper bound or lower bound of the mass. So we have 6 kg plus minus 1 by 2. Upper bound will be 6.5, lower bound is 5.5, right? So now we have to work out the lower bound. So minimum value will be 5.5 and lower bound, so we have to minus the maximum value of the box, so it will be 0.85. So 5.5 minus 0.85, that will be 4, 10, 5, 4, 10 minus 8 will be 2, 6, that will be 4. 4.65 will be the answer for part B. Okay, moving on to question number 12. A group of 5 numbers has a mean of 3.8 and a median of 3. The numbers 3 and 6 are added to the group. Find the mean of the 7 numbers. So we have 5 numbers, the mean is 5. So how do you find the mean usually? You have to do the sum, divide by 5, you get the mean, which is 3.8. So the sum of the 5 numbers is 3.8 times 5. Let's do that. So 3.8 times 5, what do we get? That will be 40. 15, that will be 19. So 1 decimal place, that will be 19, will be the sum of the 5 numbers. So now we have 2 more numbers, so 3 and 6, that will be 9. We add 9. The new sum will become 28. So the mean, the new mean will be 28 divided by, well, now we have 7 numbers, so it will be 4. The new mean is number 4. So now find the median of the 7 numbers. So at first, the median of 5 numbers is number 3. Okay, so at first we had 5 numbers. The median was 3. So which means, what does it mean? Let's say we have a list. So let's say we don't know what this is. This is the first number, second number, and the third number, fourth and fifth number, right? So at first the median was here. The value was 3 for the third, for the middle value. So this is 2 here, 2 here. So if you add 2 more numbers here, let's say we add 7th and 6th number, the median value will be the next one, which will be the 4th value. So now you can see we have added number 3 and 6. So where will 3 go? 3 will be going here as well, right? So in that case, the median will remain the same, which is 3. That is question number 12. Moving on to question number 13. So each member of a group of 50 people were asked how many films they watched in a month. The results are shown in the table below. Find the mode. The mode is the one having the most frequency, so 15, so mode is 3 films. Calculate the mean number of film watched in a month. So how do you find the mean? We have to do find the sum first. So 0 times 5 will be 0. 1 times 12 is 12. 2 times 13 is 26. 3 times 5 is 45. 4 times 4 is 16. 5 times 1 is 5. Sum will be 2 plus 6 is 8. 8 plus 5 is 13. 13 plus 6 will be 19. 19 plus 5 will be 24. 2 goes here. So 2 plus 1 is 3. 3 plus 2 is 5. 5 plus 5 will be 10. So the sum is 104. The mean will be 104 divided by 50. Why 50? Because we have 50 people in the group. So we have to simplify. What can I do is I can multiply here by 2. Multiply by 2. We will have 208 over 100. So we'll get 2.08 as the mean value. So 2.08. Now let's do question number 14. So this one is a question of indices, which will be pretty easy. So we have 9 power minus half. So if we want to make the power positive, we can change the inside. So what is 9? 9 is usually 9 divided by 1. So if you want to make this positive, we have to flip it upside down. We have 1 over 9 becomes half. So simplify, we have 1 over 3. Answer is 1 over 3. Part B, evaluate 10 power 3 minus 10 power 0. So anything power 0 is 1, and 10 power 3 is 1, 2, 3. That will be 9, 9, 9. Your answer will be this. So now for part C. So let's solve this equation here. So if you want to send this over here, it will become, so we have 3 over 2 here. On this side it will become 2 over 3. So now we know 8 can also be written as this. So let's replace it in the value. We have 2, 3, 2 over 3. So we have to cut. So 2 power 2 will be 4. Your answer will be x equal to 4. Question number 15. 4 equal to this equation. Find x in terms of c and d. So make x the subject of formula. So how do you do this? First thing, you have to send the square root on this side. We have 4 square. Then we have cx plus 1 divided by dx minus 1. So we have to cross multiply. We have 16 dx minus 1 equal to cx plus 1. So we have to expand. We have 16 dx minus 16 equal to cx plus 1. So we bring the x over here. We have 16 dx minus cx equal to 1 plus 16. Then we have to factorize x outside, so x goes out, and the rest will be 16d minus c equal to 17. So x is equal to 17 divided by 16d minus c, and that is your answer for question number 15. So now moving on to part 16. So let's do that. The mass of a dust particle is approximately this much. Write this mass in standard form. So we have to move 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So 7.53 times 10 power of minus 5. Part B. The mass of the Earth is this much. The mass of the Moon is this much. Find the total mass of both. So let's add both together. So we have 5.972 times 10 power 24 plus 7.3 times 10 power 22. So here's the power are different. We cannot add them. We have to first change the powers to make it the same. So I will send 100 here. We will have 597.2 times 10 power 22 plus 7.3 times 10 power 22. So now the power are the same, we can add them together. So what is this? Add this. So 597.2 add 7.3, we have 54106. So that will be 604.5 times 10 power 22. So now your answer needs to be in standard form. We have to move 2 decimal places, so that will be 61045 times 10 power 24, and that will be your answer for part B. So now question number 17 is a function question. So we have f of x equal to 5 plus x squared. Find this. Find the value of t. So we have to first replace the value of x by 3 minus t. So f of 3 minus t will be what? 5 plus 3 minus t square. So let's expand. We have 5 plus that would be 9 minus 6t plus t square. Expand the brackets. We have 5 plus 9 minus 6t plus t square. That will be 14 minus 6t plus t square. So now we are given that this equal to 9. So this will be equal to 9. So let's bring 9 over here. We have t square minus 6t. We have plus 14 minus 9 will be 0. So it's t square minus 6t plus 5 will be equal to 0. So now we have to factorize and solve for t. So factorize, because we have t squared, we have two brackets. So t squared is t times t, and 5 is 1 times 5. And how do we get minus 6? So minus 1 minus 5 will be 6. So t can be 1 or t can be 5. And this is your answer for question number 17. Okay. So now moving on to question 18. A sequence of patterns is given using dots and lines. So we have dots and line, as you can see. Here we have pattern 1, 2, 3, 4. Number of dots, we have 6, 11, 16. So let's find out. As you can see, every time it is increasing by 5. It means that here also it will increase by 5. So 16 plus 5 will be 21. So now it says find a formula for the number of dots d in p. So we have to find the pth term. So how do we find that? So we observe that every time it is increasing by 5. So let's write down 5p. So we have to take a value that we know. We know that term 1, so term of 1 equal to 6. So this is where p equal to 1. So let's say now we have to find, we add 1, we do p equal to 1. It will give us the value of 5. So 5 is not 6. So by how much we need to change 5 to get 6? So we need to add 1 to get 6. So it can be the same. So here we have to add 1. So your formula will be 5p plus 1. And that is your answer for part B. Moving on to question number 19. So this one seems to be a locus question. So the land region shown has wheat storage depot at A, B, and C. So we have points A, B, and C. Okay. Part A, given that the bearing of C from A is 115, find the bearing of A from C. So let's find out. So let's make a drawing so we understand what's happening. So we have the north line on A. That's north. And we have the north line on C. Okay, so we're given that the bearing of C from A is 115. So let's join the point A and C and find out the angle that is given to us. So this point A joining point C. So the bearing of C from A is 115. So this angle here is 115. So the question asks you, find the bearing of A from C. So A from C, so it will be this angle. How do you find this angle? So now we observe, if we know the size of this angle here, so this angle is equal to this angle. So it's pretty easy. If we know this angle, we know the size of this angle here. This is a straight line. So this angle here will be 180. And the angle inside is the same as this one. It will be 115. So the bearing of A from C will be 180 plus 115. So 115, 180 plus 592. So your answer will be 295 degrees. Now part B, local farmers take their wheat to the nearest depot. By drawing a suitable, accurate constructions, find and shade the region which is served by the depot at B. Now for part B, we have to draw the locus of points to find the region served by B. So we need to find the region in this place where it is closest to B than to the other sides. So what can we do? We can first join the points A to B and join the points A to C as well as B to C. So you see we have a triangle, And here we have to find the points where it is closer to B than to anywhere else. So we have to draw the perpendicular bisector of this side and this side. So how do we do this? We go to point C. We draw an arc on top and on the bottom. And we go to point B. We draw another arc at the bottom and on top. Moves. Okay. So we have to make sure they intersect. So we have to go back to C to make sure they intersect to this point. So here, as you can see, we have 2 points of intersection. We have this point and this point. So I have to join them together to form the bisector of the bisector of side BC. So let's do that. So joining those 2 points, but we have to keep it inside the land. So inside this land. Okay, so that's the first construction that I do. So now I know that anywhere on this side is closer to B than to C. How about this one now? So same thing. I will have to draw the bisector of the line AB. So I go to point B. I will draw an arc on both sides and then intersect and find the points of intersection. So here we go. Point B on this side and on this side. Go to point A. Intersect the first arc and on this side as well. So as you can see, we have a point of intersection on both sides. So we have to join them to form the locus of points which are equidistant from the points A and B. So here we go. Let's join those two. So it needs to be inside the land. Okay, so from those 2 lines, we find out that where is the region closer to B. As we observe, this will be the region that is closer to B. So this is the region as required where the farmers will come to B and not to the other depots. So just make sure that it is not outside, and you have to show your work to get your point. And that was question number 19. Question number 20. The diagram shows the first 15 seconds of a car's journey. So that's the car's journey, 15 seconds. The car starts from rest, as you can see, 0, 0. The acceleration of the car from t equal to 0 to t equal to 5 is 4 meters per second. That's the acceleration. And the acceleration of the car from t equal to 5 to t equal to 15 is 2 meters per second. That's the acceleration for that region. Part A. Find the speed of the car when time equal to 5. So find the speed of the car at this time. Let's call it V1. So we have to first use this information to find V1. So when we have a speed time graph, the acceleration is equal to the gradient of the triangle. So we have the base, which is 5, and the height is V1. So how do you find the gradient? You have to do height, which is V1, divided by base, which is 5, equal to 4. So V1 equal to 20. So the speed of the car at time 5 will be 20 meters per second. So now find the speed of the car at time equal to 15. So 15 will be where? 15 is here. The speed will be about here. Let's call it speed V2. So again, we have to use acceleration to find the speed. So what is this height? This height will be V2 minus V1. Yeah. And the base will be 15 minus 5 is 10. So from here we know that the acceleration of the car from this time to this time is 2 meters per second square. So how do we find acceleration in this graph? Again, is base times height. Height is V1 minus V2. Sorry, it's V2 minus V1. That's the height. Divided by the base, which is 10. It will give us the acceleration, which is 2 meters per second. So now we cross multiply. We have V2 minus V1 equal to 20. We know V1 is 20, so V2 will be 20 plus 20, that will be 40. So the answer for V2 will be 40 meters per second for the speed. Now part B, find the distance traveled by the car between this time and this time. So when we have a speed time graph, distance traveled is area under graph. Okay, so how do we find this? We need to find this area. As you can see, this is area of a trapezium. So what is this height? This height is 40, and this height is 20, and the distance in between it will be 10. So area of trapezium is half times sum of both sides. So first side is this 40 plus 20 times distance in between, that will be 10. Okay, so that will be, let's simplify, we get half times 60 times 10. So 2, we have 30. So 30 times 10 will be 300. So your answer will be 300 meters for the distance traveled between these two times. And that is for question number 20. So now let's move on to question number 21. The table shows the masses of different fruits sold at a market stall on one day. So we have apples, pears, oranges, bananas, and this is the total number of the mass, right? Okay, complete the pie chart to illustrate the data. Let's do that. So for apples, it will be 30 over 90 times 360. So 0 goes away, 0 goes away. Divide by 3, we have 10. We have 3, 1, 12, 120. So apple will be 120. How much are the pears? Pears is 10. So 10 over 90 times 360. So 0, 0, 1, 1, 4. It will be 40. So pear will be 40 degrees. How about the orange and bananas? So we have to do that as well. So orange will be 18 over 90 times 360. That's for orange. So that will give me 140. So 18 times 4 will be what? Let's do the math. So 18 times 4. 8 times 4 will be 32. 72. So 72 degrees for orange, and the last one will be for bananas. So it's called B. So it will be 32 divided by 360 times, divide by 90 times 360. So cut 1, cut 4. So that will be 8 and 12. So 128 degrees. So let's do that on the shape. So we have to use a protractor for that because the angle needs to be accurate. So let's first do the angle for the orange. Orange will be 72. So we go to the midpoint, which is the center. So let's measure the angle. Angle 72. So the angle here will be 0. 72 will be about this point, right here. So if you join this to that, we have the value for, so that is orange, and it will be 72. So make sure you don't go outside, just stay inside the circle, and the rest will be banana, which is 128. B, banana. Okay, moving on to part B. The staller buys apples for 50 cents per kilogram. Okay. She sells them for 72 cents per kilogram. Calculate her percentage profit. Okay. So let's find out what is the profit. So as you can see, we have to find out how much she makes on kilogram. So she makes 72 minus 60. That will be 12 cents per kilogram. She makes that much profit. So percentage profit will be 12 divided by cost, which is 60, times 100. So divide by 12, we have 1, we have 5, that will be 20. So 20% will be the answer for part B. That was question number 21. Question number 22. Expand and simplify this equation. So we have 10 minus, so 3 times 3 will be 9x, minus 3 times minus 2 will be plus 6. So 10 plus 6 will be 16 minus 9x. That will be your answer. So now part B, simplify fully. So let's first look on the denominator. We have 9x squared minus 1. We observe that 9 is also 3 square and 1 is 1 square. So we will write this as 3x squared minus 1 square, which gives us 3x minus 1, 3x plus 1. When we have subtraction of square numbers, we can use this kind of formula. So now for the top, we have 3x squared plus 16x plus 5. So we have to factorize this into 2 factors. So 3x squared is 3x times x. So now 5. What are the prime factors of 5? 5 can be 1 times 5, and that's everything we know. So how can we get 16? So the only way to get 16 is to do 3 times plus 5 plus 1. We have plus 16. So now we replace back in the equation. We have top will be 3x plus 1, x plus 5, divided by 3x minus 1, 3x plus 1. So this will go away, and our answer will be x plus 5 divided by 3x minus 1. That is your answer for part B. So now we move on to question number 24. Let's see what do we have here. So a group of 15 adults and 12 children are going on a coach to a concert. So we have 15 adults and 12 kids. The tickets for the coach cost $8 for each adult and $C for each kid. The total cost of the coach tickets is $324. Show that this equals to this. So we will use this to find the cost. So how do you find the cost? So we have 15 adults. We have to do 15 times A, which is the cost for adults, plus we have 12 kids. So 12 times C for the cost of the kids equal to 324. So now we can divide by 3 everywhere, because you can see that if you want to obtain 5 from 15, you have to divide by 3. So divide by 3, we have 5A plus 4C. So divide by 3, what do we have? 108. So 108 as shown. Okay. So for part B, for a different group of 2 adults and 3 children, the cost is $53. Solve the simultaneous equation. So in this question, you can use 2 methods. One is elimination and one is substitution. So I will use substitution because I like to do that. So that is equation number 1, equation number 2. So let's take number 2. So we have 2A plus 3C equal to 53. So let's make A the subject of formula. So 2A will be 53 minus 3C. A will be 53 minus 3C divided by 2. Okay, that's the first derivation. So now we replace the value of A into the first equation. So 5 times A will be 53 minus 3C divided by 2 plus 4C equal to 108. So we observe that we have 2 at the bottom. Let's multiply 2 everywhere. So 5, so 2 to cancel out, we have this as this, plus 8C, and that will be, so 6, So 108 times 2, that will be 16. 0, 1, 2. So 216. Okay. So now let's expand the brackets. So 5 times 53. Let's do that. 53 times 5. What do we get? 3 times 5 is 15. 5 times 5 is 25 plus 1 is 26. So 26, 5 minus 15c plus 8c equal to 216. So let's solve this here. Let's bring this over here. What do we have? Oh no, so this will be negative. So let's do this here first. So 265 minus 15 plus 8 will become minus 7c, 216. So bring this over here and bring this over here. We have 7c equal to 265 minus 216. So 265 minus 216, what do we get? We get 5, 10, 9, 49. So 7c is equal to 49. So c is equal to 49 divided by 7, which is 7. So now use this to find the value of a. So a is equal to 53 minus 3c, which is 7, divided by 2. So 53 minus 21 divided by 2. So 53, 21, that will be 2, that will be 3. So 32 divided by 2 will give me 16. So the value of a will be 16 and the value of c will be 7. Now for the last question. Find the cost for a group of 4 adults and 5 kids. So 4 adults will be 4a plus 5c, which is 4 times 16 plus 7 times 5. So 64 plus 35, which will be 99. So that is the cost for these people. And that is question number 23. Question number 24, part A. So here we have P, Q, R, S, T are points on the circumference of a circle. So we have point P, Q, R, S, T, and they all touch the circle. Fair enough. Now we have angle PQR, which is 118, angle QRS is 99 degrees. So question part 1, we have to find the angle PTS. So where is PTS? PTS, so we have to find this angle. So now we observe, we have been given that PQ is equal to QR, which means this angle is equal to this angle, right? So what is the size of this angle? Pretty easy. This is a triangle, so the sum will be 180 minus 118. That will be what? So 7, 10. 10 minus 8 will be 2. 7 minus 1 will be 6. So these two angles would add up to 62. So what is the size of one of them? So we have to divide by 2. That will be 31. So 31 will be this and this, 31 degrees, 31 degrees. So now we know that the size of this angle is 99. So what is the size of this angle? 99 minus 31. That will be 8. 9 minus 3 will be 6. The size of the angle will be 68. So now if you observe, you can see that TPRS is a quadrilateral inside of the circle and all the points touch the circumference. So we can use a property which says that angles which are opposite to each other in this shape, quadrilateral, they add up to 180. So which means this angle plus this angle is 180. So this angle will be 180 minus this. So angle PTS will be equal to 180 minus 68. So here we go. That will be 7, 10, 2, 1, 1. So angle PTS will be 112. And that is your answer for part A, which is 112. So now we have to move on to part B. So part B, it's an interesting question where you have to kind of use your instruments to find out the sides and the angles. So we have A, B, C, D, and E are points on the circumference of circle center O. So we have a circle, we have the point A, B, C, D, E, and we know this is center O. So we observe that O, A, and OB are what? They are actually radius. So these two are the same. Does that make sense? Yes. And then from this we realize that if this is 60, these two needs to be the same. So these two would also be 60. Okay, we just write it down for now. We don't really derive anything from those. So the main question really is to find the the angle ECD. So where is ECD? We observe the angle will be ECD. So we need to find the size of this angle here. So what can we do? So we are given this side is equal to this side, this and this. Well, this is not. So what can we do is we can try to play with this shape and find what can we have. So if this angle is 60, we know that this angle will be 360 minus 60. So 360 minus 60, that will be 300. So this angle will be 300. So now we have to try something. So if you connect the point E to point O, what do we have? We have this line. If you connect this point to this point, we have this line. If you connect this line to this line, we have this line. So all these lines are radius. So this is equal to this, equal to this, equal to this. So here, as you can observe, this side is equal to this side, is equal to this side, equal to this side, which means the angle here, they are all equal. So what is the size of this angle? So we have to do 300, which is the everything, divided by 1, 2, 3, 4 angles. So we have 300 divided by 4. That will be 1. So here we have 7, 2, 5. 75 degrees. So one of the angle is 75 degrees. So now we observe we have triangle EOC. So let's take it out. Triangle EOC. So that's ECO. So what is the size of this angle? It will be 2 times 75, which will be 150. And from this we can see these two sides are equal, which will be the radius, which means this side and this side are equal. So 180 minus 150 will be 30, divided by 2 will be 15. So we have this side as equal to 15 degrees on this triangle. And the next step we can do is we observe that since these two sides are equal as well, this big angle will be equal to this big angle, right? So the angle here will also be equal to the angle here because these two sides are the same. So this angle here will be equal to this, and if these two are the same, this angle here will be equal to this angle here, right? So now we have to derive the size of this angle. So how do we do this? So we observe, we know the size of this angle is 75 as we have found here. This is 75, which means these two angles will be what? So we have 180 minus 75, we have 105. So the sum of these two angles is 105. So what is the size of one of those angles? It will be 105 divided by 2. That will be 152.5. 52.5 will be the size of this angle and this whole angle here. So how much is the angle ECD? How much is this angle? We have to take 52.5 minus 15 to find the size of this angle. So 52.5 minus 15 will be how much? 5. That will be 4, 10. 10 minus 5 is 5, plus 2 is 7. 4 minus 1 will be 37. So your answer for this angle here will be 37 0.5. That is your answer for part 1. So now moving on to part 2. The radius of the circle is 12 centimeter, which means r is equal to 12 centimeter, right? Calculate the length of the minor arc AB. So the minor arc AB is this. So we can use a formula. Length of arc is equal to angle, let's call it x, over 360 times 2 pi r. So what is the angle of the sector? The angle is 60. So 60 divided by 360 times 2 pi, r is 12. So we simplify, this will be 1, this will be 6, 1, that will be 2. So 2 times 2 pi will be 4 pi. So now we say we have to use pi as 3.14. So the value of 4 pi will be 3.14 times 4. So 4 times 4 is 16. 1 times 4 is 4 plus 1 will be 5. And 3 times 4 will be 12. We have 2 decimal places, so 2 decimal places. This will be my answer, which will be 12.56 centimeters. And that is for question number 24. Question number 25, we have ABCD is a parallelogram. So we have ABCD, as you can see. We have BEF, so BEF, and CDF are straight lines. Okay, so AB is 4, DF is 2, and AE is 5. So question number part A, show that triangles ABE, so we have ABE, and triangle CFB are similar. So one way to show that triangles are similar is to prove that all their corresponding angles are equal. So that's one way to show that they are similar. So let's find out. Let's find the angles and we can prove that they are similar. So we are given that these two lines are in the same direction. So from a rule we know that, let's draw this here. Let's say we have two lines in the same direction, right? And then the two lines are joined by a diagonal. So from this, what do we know? We would know that this angle here will be equal to this angle here. So we'll use the same property here to find the answer. So let's go, let's find this one. As you can see, these two lines are in the same direction, and this angle here will be equal to the angle here. Let's call the angle x. Let's call it x. And the next one will be this one. So what do we observe? We observe that these two lines are in the same direction, which means this angle here will be equal to the angle here. Let's call it y. So if you know two angles of a triangle, you know the last one will be basically 180 minus this and this. So let's call it angle z. So this is equal to angle z. So we have proven that all the angles, corresponding angles, are the same. So we will have to write so reasons for each of your statement. Well, you can just you have to label them actually. So let's say angle BFC. So angle BFC is equal to angle ABE, and then angle this angle will be FBC is equal to angle BEA. And the last one is by derivation. So angle FCB, and then angle BAE. So BAE. So this one are the same rules. Angle between diagonals of parallel lines. Same reason, and this one is by derivation. As you can see, sum of angles in the triangle is 180 degrees, right? So this is how we prove that this triangle and this are similar by proving all the corresponding angles are equal. As you can see, they are equal, right? So now moving on to part B, calculate the length of BC. So where is BC? BC is this length. Let's name it the length T. We have to find the length T. So length T is opposite to the angle X, right? So here X opposite will be 5. So, and here we know the length of FC. So FC will be 2 plus 4, the length will be 6. So FC is opposite Y and opposite Y. So we have to do this by comparison. So from this, what do we know? We know that the side opposite of Y will be 4 and side opposite of Y is 6. So 6 divided by 4 equal to, so we have to find, this will be 5, which is opposite X, and X will be T. So we have to find the value of T, and we just have to solve this fraction. So let's simplify. We have 2 over 3. So we have 2 over 3. Let's cross multiply. We have 2T equal to 15. So T will be 15 divided by 2, which will be 7.5. So your answer for part B will be 7.5 centimeter. So now for part C, triangle DFE is also similar to triangle ABE. So it tells you that it is similar already, okay? Given that the area of DFE is X, find the area of ABCD in terms of X. So how can we find that? So let's write this down. Triangle DFE and triangle ABE, they are similar. Area of triangle DFE is X, so unit is centimeter square. Okay, so let's find out. So here we have triangle DFE. Where's DFE? DFE is a small triangle here, and they have the area as X square. Sorry, it's X actually, X centimeter square. And then we say that to find the area of ABCD. Where's ABCD? So we have to find this big area, ABCD. So it means that we have to find the area of triangle BCF minus this one, and then plus this one to find the area of ABCD. So if we know this, what is the area of this triangle? Because they are similar, right? So this is pretty easy. So we do this by comparison because they are similar. So let's compare the side. So this angle here is Y. This angle will be also Y. So if we compare the side opposite to Y, so this is actually the side DF and the side BA. So the side on this is 2 and the side here will be 4. So they are in the ratio of 1 to 2, which means this is the side, which is the unit is in centimeter. If you were to compare area, they will be in the ratio of, we have to square both sides, 1 to 4. So now if triangle, the area of triangle this is X, area of triangle this will be 4 times X, if that makes sense. So now we have the area of this triangle, which is 4X. So now we have to find the area of BCED. But first we need to find the area of BEF. So we know that these two triangles are similar, this big and this one. So how do we find this? So let's do the same trick, corresponding side. We know the angle across Y, the side across Y is 6. So 6 will be the big triangle, and then the side across Y will be 4 for the small triangle. So we can simplify. That will be 3 to 2. That will be centimeter for the ratio of the sides. And for area, we have to square both sides. That will become 4 and 9. So the ratio of area, this one is 4 and this one is 9. So if 4 represents 4x, 9 will represent 9x. That makes sense. So area of this big triangle is 9x. So if you want to find the area of the shape BEDC, we have to take 9x minus x, which will be, so let's write this down. So area of triangle of shape BEDC, so BEDC is 9x minus x will be 8x. Now area of triangle ABE, we have 4x. That will be area of triangle ABE is 4x. So now from this too, we can find the area of ABCD, which is 8x plus 4x. That will give me 12x. So your answer will be 12x centimeter square for the part C. And that was question number 25.